Hello and welcome to Turning Point. I'm Usama Shab. It is the return of international cricket after IPL, and for the first time since the pandemic, India will host a cricket series without any COVID-related restrictions. It is going to be a test for the young guns of India against a fiery South African side. Remember, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli and Bumrah have all been rested for this series, and KL Rahul, who was going to lead in Rohit's absence, he picked up an injury and will not be available for this match, which means that Rishabh Pant will lead the line with Hardik Pandya as his deputy. All eyes will be on the players who were hits in the IPL and were brought in this team on the back of their performances. The big question will be, will they rise up to the occasion when they don that blue jersey? Well, the men in blue will clash against the Proteas at the Arun Jaitley Stadium in Delhi at 7 p.m. It is a hot summer evening, so much so that the temperature is likely to be around 43 degrees. Will the heat play a factor? Also, when we talk about the pitch here, in the 6 T20 international matches here, 3 have been won by teams batting first, 3 chasing teams at this venue. The average first inning score is 156. But will a full-strength South Africa take the game away from the injury-hit India? Or will the men in blue start the tournament with a bang? All of this and more as India look to start their road to the World Cup. South Africa, in fact, have won the toss and they have decided to bowl first. But before we proceed further, let's get you a report that Rika Roy has sent us from outside the Arun Jaitley Stadium.
We are at the Firozshah Kotla Stadium in New Delhi, and after 3 years, international cricket has returned to the capital. I have some ardent Indian cricket fans with me already with the Indian flag. Hi. Tell me, how is it like coming back to Kotla after 3 years, because international cricket is returning here after 3 years?
It's my first time, and obviously I'm super stoked about it, like very excited, a lot of emotions going on and hoping for the best.
Do tell me, because yesterday we heard that KL Rahul has gotten out because he's got an injury. Rishabh Pant is now the captain. Are you really looking forward to the Delhi boy captaining in Delhi?
Yes, of course. It doesn't matter whether KL Rahul is playing or not. India has that strength, and I'm sure we will definitely win.
And what about Hardik Pandya? Does anyone want to speak about Hardik Pandya being the vice captain of the side? You guys are all hiding.
Hardik Pandya is one of my favorite players. I really want to see him bat today and bowl today, and I make sure he plays really well today for India.
The fact that COVID cases are rising all across the country, 35,000 of you will be inside the stadium. Any doubts about, the fact that you may be exposed to the 4th wave of COVID that Bombay has been exposed to?
We all have taken some jibes for the COVID vaccine, and the mask would be the key.
Right, so wearing the mask would be the key, because there will be, as I mentioned, 35,000 people inside the stadium, and hopefully everything will go off safely. At the Firozshah Kotla Cricket Ground with camera person Joseph, this is Rika Roy for NDTV.
All right, before we talk more about the match and how things are heating up there, let's take you to the Arun Jaitley Stadium where Rika Roy is standing in the Delhi heat to get us more updates. Rika, are you feeling the heat? And I mean it literally.
I am feeling the heat, literally. I can tell you that there's a sea of Indian fans who've been coming through these gates. So here you can see many of the fans still trying to get in. Right now, I'm in front of the Virender Sehwag gate, which is the gate number 1 of the Kotla Stadium. Most of them have got in because the toss has already happened, and as you've already told our viewers, that South Africa has won the toss and they are bowling first. A few of them are still trickling into the stadium, though. It's a 7 p.m. Start here. It's 43 degrees in Delhi, so the heat will be inside the stadium. There will be a lot of heat generated in the stadium as action begins, but it is also a very, very hot summer day. Both the captains yesterday, in fact, spoke about the heat, the dehydration. In fact, the South African captain said that they were not expecting it to be this hot. Tabriz Samshi is already experiencing the heat. There have been some dehydration issues in the South African team. But with the Indian team, all's good. Though Rishabh Pant did talk about the heat, and the Indian team and the South African team did have a workout, did have a practice session, though, in the heat of Kotla yesterday.
Right. Let's also talk about the COVID situation. India today, in fact, reported a total of over 5,000 new COVID infections, with the daily positivity rate going up by 1.62%, which was observed in the last 24 hours. Delhi reported 564 new COVID cases. Rika, I also wanted to get a sense of how is the administration dealing with the fact that BCCI has now allowed 100% attendance across all venues, and this is the first time in the last 3 years that Delhi is hosting an international match. What are the measures that have been taken here?
Well, in front of every gate you can see a board which says no mask, no entry. So first thing the organizers are trying to ensure is that anyone getting into the stadium, getting through the turnstiles, wear a mask. Of course, there are safety concerns, because when you are inside the stadium and when you are opening the mask and eating or drinking, obviously you will be exposing yourself to other people. 35,000 Indian and I would imagine some South African cricket fans also will be turning up today at Firoz Shah Kotla. As you rightly mentioned, cricket returns to the capital. International cricket returns to the capital after 3 years. Remember when the COVID wave was rising, the second wave of COVID was on the rise, there was an IPL match going on in Firoz Shah Kotla, and that had to be called off, and that was the last match in 2021 April that happened in Kotla. So the Delhi crowd really has been starved of cricket, even though cricket has been happening in other parts of the country. But these fans, they are really looking forward to the match tonight.
Right. Let's also get a quick update on Rishabh Pant. He's captaining the side. How excited are the fans there?
Oh, there's a lot of excitement about Rishabh Pant captaining, though, for Rishabh, it has come unexpectedly. KL Rahul getting injured, him picking up a groin injury, which is why Rishabh has been made the captain. He has the experience of captaining Delhi Capitals, but not quite playing in front of 35,000 Kotla crowd, so he's going to get the taste of it. Also, just remember that Rishabh Pant hasn't been in great form in the IPL, so it's going to be a test of his captaincy, at the same time test of Rishabh Pant, the batsman.
Right. Let's also get you the contest of the day. Dinesh Karthik is in fact making a comeback to the Indian team on the back of a stellar performance in the IPL. He in fact made 284 runs in 14 innings at an average of 57 and a brilliant strike rate of 191. He will be up against the South African spearhead Kagiso Rabada, who picked up 23 wickets for Punjab. And this is our contest of the day. All right. We are joined by our guests, Sharda Ogra, senior cricket journalist, Karthik Iyer, he's an analyst with Fantasy Gully, and of course Rika Roy. Sharda, I would like to start with you first. India has been hit by multiple injuries. No KL Rahul, no Kuldeep Yadav, Rohit, Virat, Bumrah, everyone has been rested. And also the fact that South Africa has not lost a T20 series that they have played against India here. Are India the underdogs in this tournament?
I would say sort of you're looking at it in that way, it looks like it, but honestly I think because India has such a great deal of bench strength, depth in their team, particularly in the T20 format. People are just fresh out of the IPL or exhausted out of the IPL, whichever way you look at it. I would say India have a very good chance, and I think the fact that these injuries are there, it'll just put new players into the mix, and you'll be able to see how they are able to respond. It's a 5-match series, so it's not like it's just those usual 2-match or 3-match and it's over. It's a 5-match series. Today, I think maybe the heat will get the better of the South Africans. I have to say that I'm sitting here in Bangalore and it's 27 degrees, but I'm not boasting.
Right. Karthik, do you believe Rishabh Pant will be under pressure today? It was a below par performance from him in this year's IPL. What does he need to do to make a turnaround here in his home ground?
Nothing, I guess. He just needs to treat this as normal cricket. I know it's kind of a different pressure playing for Delhi Capitals and leading India in your very first game. But if you look at Rishabh Pant, he never takes pressure upon himself. He is known to transfer pressure to the opposition, and it's all about leading his team with the same intensity. Yes, he would have loved to field first here at the Arun Jaitley Stadium. But if you look at the previous few T20 records at this stadium, the average scores have been 180, 190. So India would back themselves to bat well. and then just defend that score against South Africa. So all Rishabh Pant needs to do is just focus on his own batting, provided he comes at number 5 or number 6 and plays natural game.
Right. Rika, we were listening to the noise in the stadium and it was absolutely...
I have a question for Sharda.
Yes, please go ahead.
I have a question for Sharda. She mentioned about Indians coming in with IPL form. A lot of the South Africans have also been a part of the IPL. They are also coming in with the form they have displayed in the IPL. So Sharda, would you say that this is an extension of how they have really been performing in the IPL over the last 2 months?
It'll be quite interesting to see how they make the switch. The format of the game is the same, but there's certainly a different kind of a mix when you're playing for your country. A lot of the younger players are getting a chance to play in a really big match. The spotlight will be on them. Hardik is obviously the star, going to be the star. Other than the fact that Rishabh is the captain, Hardik Patel is going to be the star of the show, and I think everyone wants to see if he's going to be able to bowl as well. And he's vice captain, so I think it's almost like it's a great chance for another generation and a younger bunch of people to come through. And when you're playing for India, it's a completely different kind of a contest that you're in. And let's see how it turns out. We're all looking forward to it because it's something different after 2 months of your various IPL teams playing each other.
Rika, I was listening to the noise in the background. A lot of noise coming from the stadium. Talk about that. How is the excitement outside the stadium and outside?
It's electric, right? It's electric. I have still not gone inside the stadium, Osama, but outside I can tell you that I am kind of feeling the kind of electric atmosphere it is going to be inside stadium. Thousands and thousands of people, 35,000 is the number that's going to be inside the Kotla Stadium today. Wow. The match is going to begin shortly, so most of them have gone in, and you can see them cheering the Indian cricket team. You could hear the cheer when Rishabh Pant went out to toss, and they will be cheering the team all along. And as you know, Virat Kohli, who's going to be missing in action on his home ground, rightly says that the Indian cricket team feeds off the energy of the crowd, and they are going to do so tonight as well.
Sharda, let's also talk about Dinesh Karthik.
That's the roar, Osama, that you were talking about.
Yes, absolutely. Sharda, let's also talk about Dinesh Karthik. He's probably the story of this year's IPL. He's making a comeback to international cricket after more than 3 years. He has taken up the role of the finisher. What are you expecting from him?
I mean, just an astonishing story, just an astonishing cricketer, someone who's played with so much of commitment and absolute, given it all. When he came into Indian cricket so many years ago, he was sort of the new guy, the new attacking batsman. But I love the way that he has changed himself, changed everything to play this particular role. The kind of player that India have been looking for, waiting for. The finisher who can give you this big burst of runs towards the end, which is where India's before the 13 wins in a row have their record of having a completely someone who takes the innings across that almost a line of no return for the other team. And Dinesh Karthik is that player. So he's a very old generation player playing a very new generation game in a way that is very, very contemporary 2020. It's very exciting.
Karthik, one last question.
I have a question for Karthik. Osama, I have a question for Karthik. Any interesting stat to look forward to from this match between India and South Africa, the first match of the T20 series?
Well, there are quite a few, Rika, as everyone knows that India are chasing a record 13 T20 win on the trot, but it's not going to be easy because South Africa themselves. Sorry? Yeah, so I was saying that South Africa, it's not going to be easy against South Africa, who have not, who have lost just one T20 in their last 12 T20I games. So that's going to be a difficult proposition against South Africa. South Africa have not lost a T20I series, a white ball series in this country since 2011. So these are going to be two very exciting matchups which are going to be that they're going to be looking out for. And South Africa have been playing 16 T20Is on the road, and of those 16 they have won 12. So the stats are there. which favor towards South
Right.
Africa, but India are at home, who have not lost a game in the last 11 T20Is. So these are some big number crunches that we can watch out for.
Right. Unfortunately, we are running short of time. That's all we have on the show right now. We'll be back after a break.